So this week's topic of Amuna Mondays was correlating Torah with everyday life. And before we begin, the class is dedicated to a couple names, so please have them in mind. It's in honor of a Le'ulei Nishmat for Yosef ben Devorah and Gabrielle Masauda bat Sarah. May both the Neshamot have the ultimate aliyah, as well as a refuah shalema for Helene Orna bat Chen Chana and Sareen bat Mazal. May both of them have a speedy, immediate full recovery. So, the topic was built around the book Gate of Trust, or Shar HaBitachon, and I'm very near the end. After learning it for about 2 years now, probably even like 2.5, I'm finally towards the end of it, and it was mentioning the types of watchmen. So, watchmen are as in like protecting one's belongings. So like there's a paid watchman, there's unpaid watchman, there's a borrower, and a renter. So those are like 4 types of people, quote unquote, responsible or like taking responsibility of watching one's item, like protecting their item. And it's so unique because in the book it starts elaborating and correlating each one of those titles with a type of person. And I found that it was extremely fascinating. So we spoke about it in class the other week and figured I'd make a class on it. So the type of watchmen are, again, as follows. There's a paid watchman, there's a renter, there is a unpaid watchman, and then there's a borrower. So it was going layer by layer and explaining how each type of person is a type, each type of watchman is really a type of person in a group, like a group setting, like a group, if you were to pull them together. So it goes as follows. A paid watchman is somebody that believes in God, but would like an incentive for it, aka payment. So they would correlate that with a person that's like, sure, I'll pray every day, and I want to have a good day. And an unpaid watchman is taking responsibility without getting paid, which is putting in all the work, watching somebody's item, aka that would be in correlation to praying, doing mitzvot, doing everything, and nothing in return. Nothing's in return at all. No one, he's not expecting anything in return because he knows he's an unpaid watchman. Then there is a borrower, which is a completely selfish matter, right? A person that is borrowing isn't paying for anything, yet getting full rights to it, like full use of it. And that's like a person that only when it's convenient to them are they factoring in God, reaching out to Hashem. It's when it's convenient. Like if they need something, it's like, oh, well, meanwhile, they're not offering anything to God. They're not offering anything in return. There's just strict, all you, very selfish matter is a borrower. And then there's a renter, which this person knows that God exists, right? Fully is aware of God exists, but treats God on a transactional manner, which is like he knows God is just a means to an end, which I found very interesting. And I felt like a lot of people, when you actually think about it, in this day and age, a lot of people would classify themselves as renters. Like I said, a renter it's very transactional. This is a means to an end. I need a place to live. You have this spot. I'm renting from you. Not because I like you, not because this, not because that, because I can. It's a means to an end. I need a place to live. I need a car. I'm gonna rent your car. I'm not gonna be taking care of it. I'm not this and this. I don't really have too much responsibility for it. I'm just renting it. It's the bare minimum just to have it. And it's like, I'm just going to pray because in my eyes, praying means I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to keep Shabbat because in my eyes, Shabbat means blah, 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 blah. It's a means to an end. And when you think about that, a lot of people operate like that. Hence the reason a lot of people rent. A lot of people are leasing. Some people aren't buying anything. They don't own anything nowadays when you think about it. They don't own their house. They're renting their house. They're renting their cars. They're like leasing their cars. Everything's like they don't want to be tied down anywhere. I know many people like that. Not that it's bad. I'm not saying that any of these people are better than the other. It's just really defines a person's logic and how they comprehend things. And it's really important to understand something. In order to understand someone or something, you have to really figure out how they operate. And when you realize that a lot of people are operating off of renter's mentality, you can then understand why there's such a disconnect with Hashem and God in this world. If you're operating on a very transactional manner, the minute I don't like something, I'm going to return it and find something else. Same thing with a relationship. If you're in a relationship with someone and suddenly they do things you don't like, okay, I don't like it anymore. Hence this, so I'm going to divorce or I'm going to break up and I'm just going to find something else. Why? Because it's a renter's mentality. But if you're operating on an unpaid watchman mentality, you're not getting paid. You're not expecting anything. And because you're not expecting anything, you're not shocked. There's no shock. Okay, cool. This is how it turned out. All right. Good to know. It's not freaking out. It's not being very emotional. It's not acting out. No, it's just you're not expecting anything. You're doing it from the pure kindness of your heart. Hey, can like that, like that's really how it's going. And it's like I'm trying to even think of scenarios where this is like how a person can reach that state of an unpaid watchman, which means fully dedicating life to Hashem, taking responsibility of their role in this world without expecting anything. That is the ultimate like case of emunah and bitachon, is an unpaid watchman, taking full responsibility without payment. There's no quote unquote, there's no literal incentive needed. They're just doing it. And then there's the borrower, which is the completely selfish one. Like the most selfish of selfish is the type to like use it, abuse it, this, that, and not even pay for it. And then there's the paid watchman. Paid watchman is just, hey, I really do believe in God. I just like an incentive for it. I like recognition here and there. Compliment me. Let me have a great day here and there. Toss me a bone. Like I'm doing good. I'm doing good. That's, again, all of these are fine. Like, yeah, even a borrower, it's not that, like, in other words, there's borrowers everywhere. In order for me to be kind, let's say I'm the one lending my thing out, I need people that are just going to come in and request things and not have anything to offer. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's more of a reflection type of thing where you can look back and realize, wow, it's not like, oh, you're a terrible person because you're just using me and this and that. No, there's certain scenarios where we should all be blessed to have people that would allow someone to allow you to borrow in life. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just understand there's types of people and there's a reason why they're acting that way. And especially in this day and age where a lot of people in the whole world is kind of putting God on the back burner and shaming God and isolating from God. You can realize why that is. We also live in a world where people aren't owning anything. They're just sitting there and they're completely fine going through life renting, leasing a car, renting an apartment. Sure, I'm dating for 2 years and then break up and then boom, get somebody new. It's all very rent-like, temporary, And when you think about that, that's typically why people are reacting the way they're reacting to God. They're renting. It's like I will acknowledge God when it's a means to an end, when it's convenient for me. And then you have paid watchmen, which is like I have no problem. I have no problem like connecting to God and praising God. I just want an incentive for it to pay me. Let me have a good day here and there. Then you have the borrower, again, where there's no incentive. It's just use when you want and then toss away when you don't need, you know? And then there's the unpaid, where they're just there, constantly putting their best foot forward and expecting nothing in return. Those are realistically the four type of people. There's four watchmen, but at the same time, they also identify four styles of people. And the question is like, well, which one would you classify yourself as? And which one would you want to strive to be? And I feel like that's a very logical approach to reaching that point. And I hope everyone can look back on it and hopefully it's added some insight, to just reality check on what's going on, people around you, you yourself, and where you want to be. And I find that's very important. Some people don't even know where to begin. So I hope this was a good approach to it. If anyone has any questions, please, again, don't hesitate to reach out. This class was, again, in honor of Ulei Nishmat for Yosef ben Devorah and Gabrielle Masauda Bat Sarah. May both their neshamot have the ultimate aliyah. And a refuah shalema for Helene Orna Bat Chen Chana and Sareen Bat Mazal. May both of them have a speedy, immediate, full recovery. Thank you.